All right, got the heads off, courtesy wipe. Let's bump it. Just give it a little tap. Okay, all the pistons move on this side. I just want to make sure there isn't like a rod broken or anything silly. All right, tap. Okay. All right, so everything there looks pretty good. You can go ahead and shut it off. All right, so all the pistons, there's no cracks in them. So that's great news. I'm glad the short block is untouched because pistons are the bane of our existence. This one's got a little nick in it, number 6, where this one has some pretty good contact. And then, missing in the video, we had to RTV our studs on some of the intake ones, or the ones that go through the intake, the ones that get rust on them now, because the RFD port job on the BB3s, since we're a solid cast head, they went pretty extreme in these things. And actually, I'm gonna grab a light. I'm gonna grab a light so I can show this. This is my first set of heads that have never had a intake port large enough that it goes into the stud hole. So, because you're used to seeing the rocker hole go through, but what we're not used to is seeing the stud hole go through these things. So for my intakes, you can see that. You can also see that Megan didn't live up to her deal on cutting my hair yesterday. It's 75. I'm sweating. I did get sent to work with shorts though, so thank you, babe. Love you so much. Heads look okay, except for the heavily bent valves. So rockers are off. All the valves should be closed. And definitely not. Yeah, it might be closed. It's not. It might be closed. And then driver's side head. Nope. And nope. And then every one of them's got a mark on them. So new valves in store. But the short block's good. We are going to do an RCD. The hair on my deck surface. Having where there's a crack. See? Hair. Looks like a crack. Except it was like laid just to the right. So we're going to throw an RCD gear timing set on it. We'll be able to inspect that pretty easy. And have some pretty good high quality hardware there. And hopefully I'll keep everything happy. Like I said, that's what we see on a lot of the Pro line motors, especially using Pro chargers. So we're gonna just kind of copy that. What I'm looking at right now. Kind of a bummer in there. I haven't quite been able to see if the where the pin's at for the camshaft. I guess I can try spinning that real fast with a wrench or with a screwdriver. Let's see if I can get this in here just right. Ooh, oh, it spins. And it spins all the way to the back. Okay, cool. So the camshaft's in one piece. All right, so there's a broken off bolt. And then let's see what else we got. Ugh. Come on. Grab a light. Light. Let there be light. I think the cam specs just rolled out of the sight. Alright, so there's another broken bolt. Here's a broken dowel pin. Here's another broken bolt. Okay, well, I guess if I can get the end of cam just slid back into the cam bearing. So that means it's not burned up too bad. I just gotta see if I can get those that broken dowel out. That could be a pain in the butt. And then those 3 broken bolts. So if we can do that, then we'll be in good shape. I already called Ryan Mueller. He does all my camshafts, and I told him to go ahead and get one coming or let me know. So we normally do run a 4723 firing order swap, but when we went to get cams, or we went to get a cam for this blower build, I didn't give him very much time to do it in. I think like just a few weeks, and we got kind of put under the gun. We had cam company A that he has grind left us on red, basically. Or invoiced, and they just never produced anything, and then eventually told us, oh, we've been out of cam cores. Even though you asked where production was on it, we were out. So we went with cam company B, and they had us taken care of in like 2 days. Pretty cool. So he's going with them first round, and we're gonna see if they have any blank cores so we can do a 4.7 and 2.3 swap, because I feel that it helps with the harmonics, and I do feel that the motor runs smoother, and maybe that'll help keep everything a little bit more happy. But definitely got to do a 4.7 swap. But I do think that having the LS firing order is what helped keep the turbo motor alive for over 1,000 runs every time. So pretty wild stuff. Gotta get that balancer off next. See what's behind this timing chain cover. I've got parts ordered to get this thing fixed up. Head gasket looks good. Let's see, I don't see any carbon tracking. I think that means we could probably turn up the power. Even between the heads or between the cylinders isn't too bad. That looks good. That looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. Shoot. Reuse the gasket or just put a new one on there? Might be able to just reuse them. Oh, not looking forward to this balancer. I'm hoping we can get that off later today. We've had quite a few phone calls today already from the weekend, and which is great. Try to get this lifter out. It's a little stuck. This is the hole that broke the, well, this is the lifter that broke the trunnion on the rocker. So that roller looks good. This one's getting a little stuck though. It's neighbor. Why are you getting stuck, neighbor? Come here. There it comes. Didn't take too much force. I don't feel any burrs. All right, that looks good. Get a little RTV. Oh, what's this? That's a piece of metal. That's not RTV. What is that? What are you? I wonder if I wonder what that is. That's weird looking. I wonder if we smoked a thrust bearing on this Chloe Z chain kit, and maybe it tossed some of the pieces up and around in here. My last block I had these all filled in with epoxy and screens. I really need to do that again. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Try to get it cleaned up enough to where all that'll stick. I wonder what that metal is though. Things that make you say Ooh, that lifter's still kind of hard to go back in there. What are the other ones? Are all loose? That one's loose. That one's loose. That one's pretty loose. That one's loose. That one's loose. 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 Not so loose. May have to check that for a burr. Look that a little bit over. I know we put this motor together originally. Everything was good and smooth. But I mean, the motor did sit for about a month while we were doing the body stuff. And normally motors don't sit that long. So maybe there's a little buildup, a little rust or something. I don't know. I'll have to look. I know Idji guy was like, hey, he's like, since that one kind of goofed up the rocker, he's like, you probably want to replace that pair, which I do have in a pair of 903s. So I'll probably get them out of storage and may try sliding that group in there and see if it's the lifter or not. To be continued. Okay, end of day update. Took the heads in to the machine shop. Mashmeyer said they're not gonna be bad. Quick valve job, pop the new valves in, should be good to go. He's gonna save me any spares because they're ungodly expensive, so any good spares I definitely want to keep. We got the burr found in the lifter bore. That's cleaned up, good to go. The camshaft actually came out without too much trouble. The hub actually slid off really nice. So we got cam out, and then I just gotta get all this area cleaned up for the new timing system. So the new timing system won't use a gasket there, it'll use an O-ring, so that's pretty cool. No more gasket we gotta fuck with. And then camshaft, the dowel got sheared off, the bolts got messed up, so I'm gonna have him extract the actually we may be able to extract the bolts before we go, but the dowel pin, he said, can be a pain in the butt. So his silver bullet for that is usually to stick it in an end mill and then either remove it with that completely or some other maneuvers, he said. So he drew me a picture and it looked like two pancakes with butter on them. No syrup though. So don't know if I quite like that. I like my pancakes syruped up. So he's confident he got everything back to me pretty fast. So if we find somewhere to go this weekend, we will probably be on the road. So drop event suggestions, and we should have this bad boy back together by Thursday evening. So we'll be able to leave the road Thursday evening or Friday morning, more than likely. We just need to know where we're going. More updates later. I'm sure once we get like the new parts, I'll film them going on, because this RCD setup's pretty freaking cool. And I got a cam sync option with it. So if we want to get rid of the rear cam sync that we normally use, the MSD one, which the MSD one's treated me well, but I have like a drawer full of bad ones, between whether they go bad internally or, I mean, there are a couple other failures we've had with them. Oh, here's the MSD thing. Like, where'd he go? Yeah, this guy. I wouldn't mind having it on the front. Be a little easier. Well, I wouldn't have to set it anymore, because it would just be the magnet on the cam gear, and then every time you put the motor back together, it'd already be timed. So then you never have to adjust it again. So that'd be kind of cool. So I may end up doing that. Make it a little easier to work on quickly as needed. All right, I think that's about it. Got our table full of parts. Inspected everything. Everything looks to be pretty good. Push rod tips look to be pretty good. So I don't think we actually hurt any push rod tips from lubrication this time. So I think our Lucas straight 50 that we were using actually did a really good job. And then I think the little marks that we had may have been when we don't have the lash quite close enough and that push rod pops into the hole. I think that's where we scratched the Mac. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like a radial scratch across the ball this time. It just was like a side scratch as it goes. So kind of hard to explain, but also really hard to show on camera. I think other than that, our changeless for the next event would be pretty small. As long as we're staying tree side, We got to go back of the track stuff. I just don't know if I'm ready for that again. I don't think we're quite prepared, because I mean, that's a lot of changes. A lot of changes. So preferably tree side stuff. Yeah. All right. Finish up work for the day, and then drop off this cam with the builder in the morning. Be done.